Well, it is the stock and trade of television journalists like ourselves to bring you the news of the day.
Yes, but very rarely are we given the opportunity to shine new light on past events that can change the way we view history. But that's just what one of our colleagues here in New York City is doing with a story that's especially poignant during Black History Month.
For more than 2 decades, Cheryl Wills has been delivering the news of the day to New Yorkers on cable TV.
Cheryl Wills, New York 1.
Hi, how you doing?
And every week, she delivers a different message to school children all across the country. Know your history.
What's happening here? This is one of the scenes I demanded to be put in the book.
Wills pens a new children's book called The Emancipation of Grandpa Sandy Wills. It is the true story of her own great-great-great-grandfather, a slave who fought in the Civil War.
Can you believe we once fit in these chairs and desks? Because my knees are hurting.
My thighs are like sandwiched together right now.
Squeezing into those tiny desks at PS 55 in the Bronx.
This used to be really big to me.
This used to be big. But
Once upon a time, I felt like the big
thigh-meister
right
now.
I was curious why her family history matters to the rest of us.
See my story so you can see your own. That's really the other takeaway. This is not just Cheryl's whimsical, fantasy. It's really a call to action for all kids to say, you know what, my grandfather or my great-great-grandparents probably did something too. Let me look into that, and that's what school is all about, exploring and researching and digging deeper.
Cheryl started digging deeper into her history years ago. The book recounts the sad chapter that started that search, her father's death when she was only 13 years old. As she learned more about her history and specifically Grandpa Wills, she thought this could be a teaching tool.
I want kids to say, you know what, my family also walked through whatever chapter in American history, and they're important too. And when I learn about the civil rights movement, I need to figure out what was my family's role at that time.
The book is really hitting home with kids, especially these youngsters at PS 55.
Give her a hand. Good. Thank you for reading the story.
Located in one of the poorest congressional districts in the country, many of the children here homeless. They were as excited to see the TV lady as they were to meet the woman behind the book.
Nice.
Including 7-year-old Ventura.
Come here, come closer to me for a second. No, you don't have to kneel.
Who was a handful, by the way.
It tells me that I want to find out more about my family history.
And listen to this important takeaway that 12-year-old Randy learned from the book.
It's kind of disappointing that I thought when I was little, that when I first heard about slavery, I thought it was about kindness and all that. But when I started...
You used to think slavery was about kindness.
When I started reading books about slavery, I know what slavery is, and it's kind of bad for other people.
Knowledge is power. That's the key. You need to build on that power. And that gets kids to hold their heads up.
Yeah.
And while they're at it, to pull their pants up.
If you get them to pull their pants up, then we won a big war.
Then there should be a gold star on that book.
There should be a gold star for it. She was just such a pleasure. This is her book. The Emancipation of Grandpa Sandy Wills is in schools all throughout New York City, in Buffalo, in Texas as well. And one of the cool things about it is there's also now like a Spanish version
and
that
a
I tried to
Chinese
read.
version.
Yeah, and a Chinese version as well.
I think that's so remarkable because kids really love to explore and to get them to think about their own heritage in a way that, we used to do it in construction paper and you just write, my mom is, my dad is, but this really takes it to a whole new level.
No,
Congrats.
absolutely.
That's great.